Okay, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So yesterday we were talking about this cylinder, I think, and we were talking about how you find the surface area of it, and we talked about how it had two circles and then it had that rectangle, right? So the circle at the top and bottom to find their area. So the surface area of the top and bottom would be pi times 3 squared, but then we're going to multiply that by 2 because we have a top and a bottom, right? And then if we're doing the cylinder's outside edge, it's a rectangle whose height is 8, right? Its height is 8, but its length is the circumference of the circle. So if we're going to find the circumference of the circle, that's going to be 2 pi r, which in this case is 2 times pi times 3. And then we're going to multiply that times 8. Does that make sense? So that's going to be like 6 pi times 8, which is 48 pi. I don't know why I put parentheses around pi. I think I'm just crazy. And then up here we've got 3 squared is 9. And then 9 times 2 is 18, so 18 pi. So if we add 18 pi and 48 pi, that gets us 66 pi centimeters squared, right? And then, yes, sir. No, but right here. Nope, not right here. Maybe over there. Go look over there. I'm trying to remember to be ladylike, but I am wearing shorts. So, it's hard. Okay. Now, we could plug this in and do 66 times pi and get a decimal answer and round that. We're not going to do that right now. We're just trying to get through this quickly. So, but everybody see how you do that? So, the actual formula itself is 2 times pi r squared plus 2 times pi r times height. That is the surface area of a cylinder. Okay? But you don't have to memorize that because you can just figure it out, right? All right, so let's look at that last one there, that rectangular pyramid. It's actually a square pyramid. And we know it's a square pyramid because these are the same. That makes the base a square. Excuse me. So we need the surface area of this whole thing. That means we have to find the area of every one of these triangular sides and then the area of the base, right? Well, how do you find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2, right? Or times 1/2. What's our base and our height on this triangle? 4 and 5. So we got 4 meters times 5 meters divided by 2. That's going to be 10 meters squared. Now that's the area of one triangle, but how many triangles do we have? 4. We have 4, so we'll do 4 times 10 meters squared, which is 40 meters squared, and that's the area of the triangles. Now we need the area of the base, and the base is a square, so it's going to be 4 times 4 for the base, right? Length times width, 4 times 4, which is going to give us 16 meters squared. And we add them together, 40 and 16, and we get 56 meters squared. Everybody a second to catch up, and then I'm going to have you write down some formulas. Okay, cone formulas are crazy. All right? And I'm just going to give them to you. We're not going to try to find them. We're not going to try to figure them out. They're nuts. Yeah. Let's see. Here is the formula for the surface area of a cone.
Are there different formulas for?
So there's going to be one for surface area and one for volume. And then we'll have a volume for a cylinder that you need to write down. Y'all got that one? Here's the volume of a cone. By the way, on this one, you could write this as pi r squared times h and divide everything by 3, if that makes more sense to you. It doesn't matter if you divide just the h or if you divide the whole thing. To me, it makes more sense to write it where everything's being divided by 3. That's just me. Y'all got this one down? All right, now we got to do cylinder volume. Cylinder volume. So here's the volume of a cylinder. And it actually is real simple. It's just the area of the circle times the height of the cylinder. That's all it is. So what you're doing is you take the area of the circle and then you're stacking that area on top of itself over and over and over and over to make that tall cylinder. So if you multiply the area of the circle times the height, you get the cylinder's volume. Okay, so let's go back to the surface area of a cone. Surface area of a cone. This guy. If you look at number 4, what is R? 3 inches. What is H? 6 inches. All your, yep. Surface area of a cone. All you have to do is plug those numbers in. Now, if you look at that shape, do you notice, you got this down?
No.
Can I switch screens? If you look at this shape right here, do you notice this? What is that? It is a triangle. What kind of triangle? Right triangle. So do y'all, in that formula, you know how you had this right here? Get that? Look kind of familiar? The square root of a squared and b squared. This is c squared, right? Basically, you're finding the length of this. That's what you're doing. With this information about 6 being this and 3 being this. Okay, on we go. Volume. Volume is how much space is taken up inside a three-dimensional object. Area is just 2 dimensions, but volume is 3 dimensions. And you guys know the basic volume formula, and I know you do because you shouted it at me like 400 times since school started this year. How do you find the volume of a basic prism? Length times width times height, right? 3 dimensions. What are those 3 dimensions in this problem? Does it matter what we call length, width, and height? Traditionally, length is the longer one, but it really doesn't make any difference. So, 6 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. You can multiply these in any order. I would do 6 times 5 and get 30. 30 times 4 is... What's 3 times 4? What's 3 times 4? 12. Add a 0. And then we have feet times feet times feet. So what's our unit? Feet cubed. Y'all see how that works? Okay. So then this one also very basic. We have 6 yards times 8 yards times 5 yards. I would do 6 times 5, 30, and then 30 times 8. So 3 times 8 is 24. Add a 0. And what's our unit? Yards cubed. And then the cylinder one, you're just going to plug it in, right? So you're going to find the area of a circle and multiply it times the height. So area of a circle is pi r squared. So it's going to be pi times 2 squared. And then you're going to multiply that times 10, right? So 2 squared is 4. So we have 4 times 10 times pi, which we can write that as 40 pi centimeters cubed. Or we can multiply it out, 40 times pi, which I think is like 125 point something. I don't know exactly what. I'm not going to worry with this doing this. Y'all know how to plug things in a calculator, okay? Okay, so let's look at the back real quick. This is going to be your assignment. Your interactive worksheet should be on Google Classroom. I put it on there last hour. So it should be on there. On this top part, you'll see when you open your interactive worksheet. Like I would suggest, normally I would say do your work, then open it up and put your answers in. But for this one, I would suggest open it up and putting your answers in as you do your work. Because I set it up so that you can go through the process of what I need from you. Okay? Okay. On 3, 4, and 5, there are 2 answers on 3, 4, and 5, and I set it to where it doesn't matter which one you put in which box, it'll still count them right. Okay? So it's not like you have to put surface area in one and volume in the other. It doesn't matter. Whichever one you put in which one, it'll count them right. As always, round to the nearest tenth. I didn't even need to write that because it's written right there. Round to the nearest tenth. No space between your numbers and your units. And you have to have your units or it's not going to be counted right. Okay? And I'm not going back and correcting them because y'all didn't put it in there. You don't type it in right, it's going to be counted wrong. Okay. All right, y'all get busy. Yes, sir.